supremacy. He is a supreme God. And so when Titus was teaching, he said, teach the older women to be reverent, to have the acknowledgement of God. Yaani wafunze wale wamama ambao ni wakubwa kidogo kwa wengine jinsi ya kumpenda na kumtumainia Mungu. The way to love and acknowledge the God's supremacy and authority. So sometimes you can look at me and say, of course I'm not the older woman in this church, Simeon. But I'm older woman to someone else. And I've learned one thing from our bishop, Bishop Bernard. Whenever you sit with that man, even if it was asleep, you will not come out empty. He'll give you a word that you will go with. That is something I've learned. And when I was studying this book, I realized it is biblical. Whenever someone gets under you, Pastor Caleb, you have a big house, you have a big household. Get to know that the people who are under you, they are learning from you. Whenever you find yourself with people expecting from you, always be ready to deliver something. Because their spirits are eager to learn from the person who is ahead of us. Amen. And in this case, we are talking to women, whereby the older women are encouraged to be reverent, to acknowledge the supremacy of God, and to train the women under us. Train the person who is looking after you on the ways of life and on how to bless the Lord. It continues and says, in the way they live, not to be slanderous or addicted to much wine. Slanderers ni watu wa mshene. These are the older women ambao wanaambiwa na Titus, train the young women to love God na kukata mdomo. Can you put yourself in a state whereby you are the older woman kwa hiyo kikao na ni wewe unaeneza hiyo story? You are the older woman in that sitting, but you are the person who is killing. Who is doing what? Mwenye unaeneza mizizi ya sumu. As older women, always, it's not about older women, it's about we as a person. Always know your life is a mirror and someone is looking at you. Someone is looking at what you are doing and they want to learn from you. What are they learning? May they learn to love God and may they learn the ways of Christ. Amen. That was just but part of it. We are talking about Vashti. Can you tell someone Vashti? Vashti, when we talk of Vashti, we would think of a Muhindi. Still, those names come from the Hindi side. And this woman was not just a woman. She was a queen. She was a queen. But she was a queen by the virtue that she came from the lineage of rulership. When you study about Vashti, Vashti is a great-great-granddaughter of King Nebuchadnezzar. She's a great-great-granddaughter to King Nebuchadnezzar. So, when King Texas wanted to marry, definitely he had that opportunity to go and marry from a royal priesthood. So this woman was married to Vashti by the virtue that she was a princess in a royal priesthood. So she fall in place. But was she aligned in the purpose of God? Because she's one woman that is not talked about much. In the book of Esther, Queen Vashti is mentioned like a Bible, because she called off the request of her husband when the husband was trying to show the majesty. He was trying to display his splendor. And when the time came that Vashti was part of the big event that she was about to be presented to the people, aonyeshe urembo wake, I would like to ask someone, are you aligned? That is the only thing that did not happen. She was not aligned. But by the virtue that she was coming from royalty, she was there. And this is what God did. First of all, what does Vashti mean? Vashti is a spirit. Vashti is a spirit. And this spirit is the spirit of familiarity. It's a very bad spirit. Vashti is a spirit of familiarity. A spirit that compels men to become so familiar and to be disobedient to authority. Because amezaliwa kwa ukubwa. She has seen everything. She knows everything that happens in a kingdom. And so she's so familiar with the kingship. And that is why she could easily turn down the call of her husband, come and display your beauty. And she called it down. Why did she call it down? Because of the spirit that operates in her, the spirit of familiarity. She felt like, this is just like any other. I've seen my mothers and my grandmothers. I've seen my fathers. They have been in this thing. Are you the first one? You see, the spirit of familiarity. It's a very bad spirit. The spirit of familiarity. But the way God operates is very divine. God operates divinely. That He does not just let things flow, but they flow according to His plan and the purpose. Are you aligned in the plan of God and in the purpose of God? And so, Vashti comes and her case is done very fast. And there's a guy that was used by God, anaitwa Memucan. Memucan was one of the advisors of the king. And when she turned down the call of the king turned to his wise men and asked, what do you think should be done? And because Memucan was working as the Spirit of God was leading, he said, no, things will not happen. We shall kill our own. It will not just affect the king. It is going to affect all the men that are reigning under the king. It is going to affect all the families that are in this nation. In the citadel of Susa, there was a bomb that was ticking. And if Memucan did not stand up for this, things would have gone bad. And because of this spirit of familiarity, Memucan advised the king accordingly. Sema accordingly. Yes, sometimes when I know there are theologians in this house, and one day when we were doing the study of this book, someone said, this guy was not was unsafe. He felt insecure with the woman that he had in the house. And because he was feeding his ego, that is why he advised the king. I tend to differ. It was divine purpose of God that Memucan would advise the king accordingly, not for the purpose of the king, but for the sake of that nation, for the sake of that division of Susa that needed men to be the head of the family and the wife to be respectful. It called for Memucan for things to turn around before the spirit of Vashti fell in place. And because God works divinely, in the book of Esther chapter 2 verse 5, please bear with me. Now there was in the citadel of Susa a Jew of the tribe of Benjamin. Understand where we are coming from. And look at this introduction. After all this, now there was in the citadel of Susa a Jew of the tribe of Benjamin, named Mordecai, son of Jair, the son of Shemel, the son of Kish, who had been carried into exile from Jerusalem by Nebuchadnezzar. By Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. We've been given a short history. But do you think it's about history? It's about a lineage. There's a lineage that God is about to restore. There's a lineage that God is about to restore. This is someone we are being told he is from the tribe of Benjamin. He's from the tribe of Benjamin. And then we are told this person was taken to exile by King Nebuchadnezzar, the great grandfather to Vashti. I hope we are flowing together. Among those taken captive, we are being told about them. About those taken captive was with Jehoiachin, king of Judah. Mordecai had a cousin named Hadassah. You see where we have been brought. It is not just mentioned and Hadassah was in place. No. We have been given the lineage of Hadassah in a straight way in how God operates. God is about to restore a lineage that was taken to exile as captives. And so Hadassah is coming to replace Vashti. Are you able to understand this history? Hadassah is coming in to replace who? Vashti. Because the king has been advised that we change things, because this one is going to affect all the nations. Whom he had brought up because she had neither father nor mother. This girl, who was also known as Esther, was lovely in form and features. And Mordecai had taken her as his own daughter when her father and mother died. We have a clear history where Hadassah is coming from. We have a clear history on how Hadassah was taken care by Mordecai. And now let's look at this. Who is Hadassah? Why is she coming in place of Vashti. Look at the God's alignment for his divine purpose. God's alignment for his divine purpose. Hadassah means martyr, which symbolizes the Lord's forgiveness and acceptance. Hadassah means the Lord's forgiveness and acceptance. After these generations, God has forgiven and has accepted. God has forgiven and has accepted. And so he is in the line of fulfilling his purpose. I want to say this, time does not matter when God's favor has located you. It does not matter how many generations will pass after you. It matters when God's acceptance and forgiveness falls in place.
Amen.
And then he does something called restoration.
Amen.
Say restoration.
Restoration.
These people are about to be restored from the harm that was done by their great-great-grandfather Nebuchadnezzar. The Lord has accepted them back.
Amen.
And so, through one woman who is Hadassah, Hadassah was given a name after she was taken there. She was given a different name. And this name aligned with the purpose of God. It doesn't matter who is naming you. It does not matter who is naming you. You may happen that I know from different cultures, children are named by elders. It does not matter who named you. It matters your purpose.
Amen.
It matters your purpose. And so Esther, Hadassah was named Esther. And Esther in their culture means a star. This is someone from their tribe who is accepted and forgiven. And now when she appears before the king, she is becoming a star. And not just a star, a Venus. A Venus is the star that shines brighter in the morning after every other star has shut. Amen.
Amen.
Venus ni nyota ambayo hung'aa asubuhi baada ya giza kubwa. After every other star has shut, after the moon has shut, it is one bright star that brightens to bring in the dawn. Amen. The sun that has brightened does not just brighten and the night continues. It ushers in the morning. It ushers in a new day. This sun, after it brightens, it ushers in the new day, which is a new hope and a new beginning. And so Vashti is gone, and Hadassah, who is named Esther, has come in place. And this person, because her name means acceptance and forgiven and bright star that is about to usher a new season, she comes in and replaces Vashti. And according to their rule, according to the way things are done in that kingship, a woman or a princess is prepared for 12 months before they are presented to the king. Wanatengenezwa mwaka mzima, 12 months.